guys, welcome back to The New Critic, and today we're going to be looking at Season 3 of The Walking Dead. So in this season, Rick and the rest of the group make their way to an abandoned prison and treat it as their new sanctuary. There's also another community introduced in this season called Woodbury, and it plays a very important role. So this is another fantastic season of the show, and we're going to get into why exactly. So first of all, I like the fact that this season was able to divide its time between the prison and Woodbury. It just made this season feel like it was on a much larger scale compared to seasons 1 and 2. Seeing Rick and the other survivors settling into the prison for the first time was exciting, and it's even more enjoyable upon rewatch. The Woodbury community was one of the highlights. It felt like a safe haven for all the survivors among the apocalypse, and things take an interesting turn for this community later on. The main antagonist for this season is Philip, aka the Governor. The Governor is in charge of Woodbury, and he's one of those antagonists whose actions aren't always justified, but we could always understand his motives at the very least. There's a couple of other interesting new characters this season. There's a couple of prisoners at the prison, one of them being Axel. There's some other survivors, for example Tyrese and his sister Sasha. Merle from season 1 makes a return this season. Merle is Daryl's brother, and I really enjoyed Merle's interactions with some of the characters, specifically Daryl. Michonne is introduced this season as well. Michonne is played by Danae Guerra, and her skills with a katana are fun to watch. Milton is in the season, and I enjoyed his enthusiasm surrounding the possibility of a cure for the virus that started the outbreak. Rick Grimes had an interesting character arc this season, and I like the fact that he starts out as somewhat of a dictator among the group. #Ricktatorship, but he warms up to everyone eventually. This season has one of the most shocking deaths in the history of The Walking Dead, and it has a huge impact on some of the characters. There's an episode in the season, it's episode 13, aka Clear. You don't really need to see it because it doesn't really progress the story at all, but I'd recommend it. It's a bottle episode that focuses on a small group of characters, and it features these characters going on a supply run. A supply run is going around and, scavenging for supplies. And it just has a bit more levity to it than most of the episodes this season. And the finale, while I did have some issues with it initially, it's grown to become one of my favorites. Though you'll probably have some issues with it anyway. Now, I have very little to complain about with Season 3. There's just a few dumb decisions made by the characters, and that's pretty much it. There's also a flashback that serves as the opening scene for one of the later episodes, but by that point it feels very out of place. I will say that I know how much everyone hates everything surrounding Andrea this season, but it didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. Some of her actions were justified, in my opinion, though you'll probably be pissed off with her anyway. So yeah, that was my review of Season 3 of The Walking Dead. Next time we're going to be looking at Season 4. So, thank you all for watching. Please be sure to like the video, share it and subscribe, and hit the notification icon. Be safe during this time, and I'll see you soon.